Hey there, how are you doing, YouTube and anybody who is listening? My name is Nicholas Diaz, and I am going to expose the horrible, evil people that unfortunately sacrifice our celebrities by a code of letters and numbers, which is known as gematria, which is Jewish mysticism, which comes from Kabbalah, which states that God created the world by merging the letter with the number with the word. So I just want you to keep that in mind. I've explained gematria a couple of times on my YouTube channel, what it is, but I'll explain it briefly here in a sec. But I just want you to read this headline, just to see this headline right here. Jessica Walter, star of Arrested Development, and Archer star, dies today at 80. Right? She's dead today on the 25th. And I want to show you just a couple of things. So this is gematria. What it is, it's basically just taking the alphabetic code that we have, the 26 letters in our alphabet, and assigning a number to them and calculating values and words that we have in our language, right? So, well, obviously I'll show you that in a sec, but look. A is 1, B is always, A is 1, I apologize, A is 1, B is 2, in this first cipher here, B is 2, and then C is 3, all the way up into Z, which is the 26 letters, so Z is 26. So you just assign a single digit to each number, right? You assign 1 through 26 for the 26 letters in the alphabet, and you calculate a word through that, right? And this blue cipher right here is the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. And what I mean by that is you calculate each number as it would be, but when a double digit number comes in, you take the numerology of that number. So you see how Z is 8? 2 plus 6 is 8. So that's how you would get 8. So A is still 1, B is still 2 there, but where it would change is J, since J is 10. You get me? And then this cipher right here is just flipping the alphabetic order in reverse, counting back from Z1 and making A26, and then taking the numerology of those letters, right? So go in your life. Go on to gematrinator.com, type in your name, type in your family's name, and see what comes up, and you're going to see some interesting stuff, trust me. But I'm going to show you. So just look what happens when you write out Jessica Walter. It equals 46, right? A word that happens to be, so if you write out the word sacrifice, it equals 46, and obviously that's an overlap right there. You just had the 46th president, Joe Biden. His days are going to be numbered, I bet, because think about JFK, who was the other Catholic president. JFK and Joe Biden are the only two Catholic presidents. JFK was number 35 and died at age 46. And let me show you what happens if you write out Catholic in this code. Catholic is 35 and 46, like how JFK was number 35 and died at age 46, the first ever Catholic president, and Joe Biden is the second ever Catholic president, number 46. You see? He became the 46th president 46 weeks after the Pope's birthday, the first publicly Jesuit Pope, right? But going back to this Jessica Walter, right? You write out Jessica Walter, it's 46, right? And the show she was on, Arrested Development. Look what happens if you write out Arrested Development. Did I spell it wrong? I did, yeah. So if you write out Arrested Development and spell it correctly, it equals 86. Like, you think of that term 86 to get rid of, right? You 86 something to get rid of, right? Look what happens if you write out blood sacrifice. Blood sacrifice is 86, right? Yeah. Ritual sacrifice is also 86. Ritual sacrifice. Oh, is it? Oh, I apologize. But just blood sacrifice by itself would be the 86. And just think of that term 86 to get rid of. I want to see in real time what happens if you write out that word Archer, which is, so in a lot of the cases with these celebrity deaths and these celebrity deaths coming in the headlines, you got to look at what is being emphasized in the headlines. So you see how Arrested Development was a big key part in her death ritual. I want to still see how many days after her death she died. We'll see that as well, and then I want to see Archer as well. Let me see what happens if you write out Archer. Oh, see, look at that. Archer's 35, like Catholic. We'll see if it says anything about her being Catholic in there. Let's see if there's anything else. Well, I'll keep that number on the board, and if anything else comes up, I'll see, right? And let's just let me show you this 25. So if you're at the word death, it equals 25. You know what I mean? I think what else equals 25? A lot of things equal 25 as well. RIP equals 25. I think murder. No, murder is not 25. It is, yeah, death and RIP are both 25. And she's dead here today on the 25th. And something else that's interesting is today it could be you can calculate the numerology and the dates as well. So what I mean by that is you see how today is March 25th, 325. You can add 25 and 3 together to get 28. Look what happens if you write out kill. Kills 28, right? Let me see what else happens. So 28 plus 21. Let me see here. 49 and 69 date numerology. Oh, see, that's interesting. She's dead on a date with 69 numerology, and if you write out 69 as a word, it's 49, and today also has 49 date numerology. That's interesting. No, but okay, let me see. Let me keep reading in this article right here. I should have done a little bit more, I guess. Stories still developing. Died Wednesday in New York. Okay, well, let's see how many days after her birthday it would have been. After her 80th birthday. Oh, see, I have to talk about that right now. She's dead at 80 today, right? 80 is, and if you write out 80 as a word, it's 38 and 25. She's also dead today on the 25th, right? 25, but that 38 number, I talk about that 38 number in probably all my videos. So if you write out murder, it's 38. If you write out RIP, it's 38. If you look at the movie poster for the film Murder by Numbers, Murder by Numbers, starring Sandra Bullock. The only numbers in that there's numbers changed in the letters in that movie poster, and the numbers that are changed in that the B is changed to a 3 and the E is changed to an 8, right? So there's a 38 where it says Murder by Numbers, right? And the star of that movie is Sandra Bullock. See, I'm gonna just write out murder, right? If you write out murder, it's 38 and 83. The Police had that song Murder by Numbers in the year 83, right? And then that song's about how killing is the sport of the elite. And then Murder by Numbers came out in 83, and there's another song called Gematria, the killing name by the band Slipknot. If you write out Gematria, it's 38, and then the first member of that band, right after they put out that album, Paul Gray, he died at age 38. And look what happens if you write out Paul Gray. It's 38. His nickname in Slipknot was the Pig. The Pig is 38. He died 46 days after his birthday. If you write out Slipknot, it's 46. Another big thing, their first big hit song was Wait and Bleed, which is 46, you know. And I was just talking about this 46 number, you know what I mean? Today, Jessica Walter equals 46 and Sacrifice is 46. You know what I mean? These people get sacrificed. I haven't even seen how many days she's died after her birthday. I bet that's going to be something big. Let me see real quick. My guy Zachary K. Hubbard just had his channels deleted for no reason, trying to spread the knowledge of gematria, trying to get the word out. They try to take him down. Try to take all of his channels down. Let me see here. Her birthday was January 31st, so from that day to today is how many days? 53 days, and I know I have a 53 on the board somewhere. Archer, which she was in, is 53. That's also 7 weeks and 4 days, and if you write out 80, it's 74. She's dead today at 80, right? 7 weeks and 4 days after her birthday. But something else you can do with the date is you can also count. So this is 53 days after her birthday, or would have been her 54th day of being 80 if she had made it past today, right? Her 54th day being past 80. And if you write out Jesuit order, who are the people who are in charge of everything, who are probably the ones who killed her, Jesuit order is 54, right? Yeah, so this number comes up a lot. You see 54 come up all the time, and its correspondent number, which is 45, because look what happens if you write out 54 and 45 as words, right? You write out 54, it's those four base values, right? And if you write out 45, which is not the exact same spelling as 54, there's different letters in the word. You change the letters around, right? And it's still the exact same numerical value, right? And they're just corresponding numbers. And it doesn't happen all the time with that, you know what I mean? You can do a number like, let me do 56 and 65. You can do 56 and 65. And there's not a single one, right? There's not a single one, but 54 and 45, which are the exact same, have this exact numerical overlap. I apologize. And the thing about those numbers is they have a very special connection to the number 9. Because if you add 54 and 45 together, you get 99, and if you subtract them from each other, you just get 9. And all four of those numbers can break down to 9. 54 goes into 9, 45 goes into 9, 117 can break down to 18, which can break down to 9, and then 126 can become 18 also, and then that can also become 9. You see how all these numbers can break down to 9, and they just have this correspondent, and then, what was I going to see? Yeah, so let me go back to this. Yeah, so she dies a span of 54 days after her birthday, or 1 month and 25 days, or on the 1 month and 26 day mark, right? Just gonna catch my breath for a sec. But I want to go back to the Jesuit order, the people who operate on behalf of the Catholic Church, who see themselves as a military agenda, right? It equals 54, and if you add the Jesuit order, it equals 201, and that's the number they operate by, right? The 201 Jesuits saved by Catherine the Great, which preserved the order, right? The Event 201's coronavirus simulation of October 18th, which happened the exact same day as the Military World Games in Wuhan, China, right? Where the supposed coronavirus outbreak came about, right? That was put on by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, along with the Johns Hopkins Center for Disease Research. All of these companies who have benefited the most from this pandemic, right? The people who have instituted these vaccines, which you don't know what they're going to do to you. You don't know what kind of side effects are going to be. I hope this video gets taken down because of medical misinformation, because of the vaccine that was rushed out by Pfizer. And, who knows what's in that vaccine, They won't tell you. They're just saying, get it when you're ready, but you will get it, or else you can't comply, you know what I mean? Be a good citizen and get it, you know what I mean? Don't think about yourself, don't think about your personal freedom. Who cares what's in the vaccine, right? Just get it in you so we can have you forever, right? That's what's going on in their brain. And no matter what they say, no matter what happens, that's what it is. That's what's going on. The first publicly Jesuit pope, right? We're in the time of the first publicly Jesuit pope, Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Which equals 201. He lives in the Domus Sancti Marte, which equals 201. Spell it right. He lives in the Domus Sancti Marte in the Vatican, which equals 201, right? So many 201 rituals, and if it's not a 201 ritual, it's a 56 ritual, right? Because if you write out coronavirus, it's 56. Right. Anthony Fauci is 56. He's the poster boy for this, even though he's not really the poster boy. It's the people behind him. You know what I mean? It's not even Bill Gates. Bill Gates and Fauci, these people are just puppets on strings. Go watch Cabin in the Woods. You know what I mean? Go watch Cabin in the Woods. And what that movie's about, it's about a government agency who operate in this kind of like bunker, and they spy on us and they lure college kids to this cabin in the woods, which is it's on like a research preserve that they've created where they can unleash these monsters that they have control of to appease the gods, so that they can sacrifice these kids to appease their gods, right? And when the kids figure it out, the gods destroy their world, right? And that's what they're trying to prevent, right? They're trying to prevent us from figuring out their knowledge. I don't know if it's to appease the gods. I don't know if that's why they're sacrificing people. I don't even know if that's why they're operating on these agendas. Because, I mean, think about it. All of the news is contrived baloney, right? And yeah, all the news is contrived baloney trying to get you to think something and get you to stray away from personal thoughts and your own thoughts, right? Creating your own ideas and conclusions of how the world works and what you should do in it, right? That's what they're trying to stray you away from. They're trying to tell you, think this way, think like that. Don't think like this. You're a bad person if you think like that, right? But why? Why are you a bad person if you think like that? Because you think differently than somebody else, right? Exactly. There's so many things that are wrong with this world that people just gloss over and tell you to just forget and stop complaining because they don't want to hear you, and they just continue on and don't want to deal with anything. And I think that's even more harmful than all of the supposed racism and the supposed transphobia and the supposed hate crimes that are going on, which I don't think are going on. I think they're contrived by the news, and they're contrived by somebody, the police. The police, which equals 33. That's an important number, because I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that shooting in Colorado for a sec. You know what I mean? Colorado is 38, and all those shootings come out of Colorado, right? On 322, which is the big Skull and Bones date, right? If you Skull and Bones operates by 322, and if you write out Skull and Bones, if you write out Skull and Bones, it's 149, right? And the supermarket that got shot up, King Supers, he's 149, and they operate by 322, and that supermarket got shot up on 322. And think about the Aurora shooting and The Dark Knight Rises. In The Dark Knight Rises, in the beginning of that movie, they when they're filming the skyline with at the night shot, there's the red sign that flashes that says Aurora, and then right after that, the Aurora, Colorado had a shooting at the Dark Knight Rises premiere where somebody dressed up as the Joker went in there and shot it up, right? And in that movie, right before they blow up the football stadium, they flash the number 322 on the screen, right? And then they blow up the football stadium. But something that's really interesting about this number 33 is in the old Batman show. In the 33rd episode, it's revealed that Bruce Wayne's father, or Bruce Wayne's great-great-grandfather, founded Skull and Bones, right? So that would make sense for all of these Skull and Bones rituals to happen in these Batman movies and around these Batman-related events. Excuse me, I'll be right back. Yeah, so, and something else that's really interesting is they released like some toys or for like some video game or some merchandise where they released a map of Gotham City for The Dark Knight Rises, and on that map they changed, for the first time ever, they changed one of the street names from South Hinckley to Sandy Hook, right before the Sandy Hook shooting, right? A school that was founded in 56, right? And if you write out the Society of Jesus, who are the Jesuit order, it's 56, right? 56 is a very, very important number because it breaks down to 11, which is the master number, right? 9, 11. But 9 and 11, two of the master numbers on one of the big master days, which was a holy war being declared on Islam to fulfill biblical prophecies. That's exactly what the point of 9/11 was, because even if Osama bin Laden was a real person, I don't even know if he was a real person or not. Even if he was completely trained by the CIA. Al-Qaeda was completely funded by the CIA to avoid Soviet conquer in the 70s, even though it happened anyways, and they tried to prevent that, and that funding turned into what would become the 19 hijackers, like the 19 cycles of the moon. But going back to everything, man, it just makes you just so upset, man. Knowing that something's wrong, knowing that there's just absolutely something wrong with everything that they tell you, and saying that there's something wrong and just being shut down and saying nope, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, or not even just being able to reach enough people. It's unfortunate. But I hope this knowledge gets out, and I hope more people can talk about it more and just get it out, get the word out. Because once the grid goes down, I don't want people to just go crazy. Yeah. So, R.I.P. to Jessica Walter. She was just another unfortunate victim of murder by numbers. But this happens unfortunately every day in the world of celebrity. But we're going to be here documenting more of this. If you want to join in, we can do this together. But we got to stop this. Till next time.